Hello everyone, you're right. Welcome back to Guitar Lessons by E.O.A. In today's lesson, we are going to be talking about why do certain scales use all sharps or all flats? Why do certain scales use all sharps or all flats? And the reason for this is because due to a combination of historical tradition and the practicalities of musical notation. The goal is to avoid repeating the same note letter name within a single scale and to create a system that's easy to read and understand. In Western music, scales typically include all 7 note letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G. To achieve this while also accommodating notes that are a semitone higher or lower than the natural notes, sharps and flats are used. And if you guys don't know, C major is the only major scale that doesn't require any sharps or flats because it uses only the natural notes. Now, remember in the previous lesson when I was teaching you the do, re, mi by The Sound of Music. So I was teaching you 2 easy songs that use the major scale. And the second one that I taught you was Do, Re, Mi from The Sound of Music. So I was teaching you the song using the incorrect tones, which I mentioned in the video, but now I'm going to explain more about it. So yeah, I was using the incorrect tones and the key was in A sharp. So the reason why I say this is because when I was explaining, teaching you the song, I was saying things like, I said the third is D and then the fourth is D sharp. And if you play the chords, the scale, I mean, it is kind of right. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is, D and D sharp, which is incorrect because the same letter name can only be used once to represent a note. If a letter name were used more than once within a single scale, it would create confusion and make the scale's structure less clear. For example, in a C major scale, you wouldn't want to have both C and C sharp, as they would represent the same pitch, simply because they use the same letter. So yeah, in the previous lesson, the key was in A sharp major, and it's within the major scale in the key of A sharp. So I thought the tones were A sharp, C, D, D sharp, F, G, A sharp. So A sharp, C, D, D sharp, F, G, A sharp. But in reality, or in actuality, the notes or the tones are actually A sharp, B sharp, C double sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F double sharp, G double sharp, and A sharp. All right, so let's talk about these notes. All right, now I know that the double sharp sounds a bit confusing, but it's actually the note, but 2 semitones higher. All right, so the first sharp is a semitone, and the second sharp is another semitone. So basically a whole step. So, for example, the C double sharp is basically C, okay, sharp, C sharp, and another sharp, D. Okay, so C, C sharp, and another sharp. C double sharp equals D. All right, so let's delve even deeper. So this is A sharp, this is B sharp, which equals C. And yes, we all know that there is no B sharp note. But when it comes to scales and theory, B sharp is in fact B plus a semitone higher, which is C. B sharp and C are the enharmonic equivalents of each other. So they sound the same, or they are the same note, just different names. So let's go back. A sharp, B sharp, which equals C. C double sharp, which equals D. All right. D sharp, E sharp, which equals F. F double sharp, which equals G. G double sharp, which equals A. And then back to the root note, just an octave higher. So like I said before, so the F double sharp, that's G. F, the first sharp, semitone higher, another semitone higher. Okay, F, F sharp, and another sharp. So one sharp equals a semitone higher. So because there's two sharps, that equals two semitones, which equals a whole step or a whole tone. Okay, F, F sharp, another sharp, which equals G. Okay, and then G double sharp, which is the G, another sharp, which equals A. All right? Okay, and the reason for this is because diatonic scales consist of 7 notes, where each note is named with a unique letter. All right? Now, another example is the D sharp major, right? Which uses the tones. Okay, it uses the tones D sharp, E sharp, F double sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C double sharp, and then back to the root, but an octave higher. All right, so D sharp. Okay, sorry. So this is the root. E sharp, which equals F. F double sharp, which equals G. G sharp. A sharp. B sharp, which equals C. C double sharp, which equals D. And then back to the root note. Okay, now another example of this, but with all tones using all flats, is the C flat major. All right. So yeah, there are scales that can use all sharps or all flats. So C flat major. So C flat is an equivalent to B. So when there are flats in the tone, it's basically going a semitone lower. Okay, a semitone lower. And of course, if there's two flats, so if it's C double flat, then that's two semitones lower. So C double flat is equivalent to A sharp. A sharp. Because C flat is B. Another flat, another semitone lower. A sharp. Da, 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 la, la, la. Okay, so these are the tones of C flat major. C flat, D flat, E flat, F flat, G flat, A flat, B flat, and then back to the root. So this C flat equals B. D flat, which equals C sharp. Okay, there is your D, a semitone lower, D flat. The flat represents a semitone lower, which is C sharp. So C flat equals B, D flat equals C sharp, E flat equals D sharp, F flat, which equals E. Okay, so it's F and a semitone lower. F flat equals D. Sorry, F flat equals E for elephant. And then G flat, which equals F sharp. And then A flat, which equals G sharp. And then B flat, which equals A sharp. And then back to the root. Okay, now remember, sharp raises the tone a semitone higher. A flat lowers the tone a semitone lower. Now, the reason for, scales having all sharps or all flats, one of the main reasons for this is because major scales have a specific pattern of whole tones and semitones. All right? This pattern dictates how sharps and flats are used to create the notes of the scale, ensuring that all 7 letter names are included and that no letter name is repeated. All right, guys, so if you come across this, understand that it's used to avoid redundancy. Okay? For example, a major scale will never contain both A flat and A because it disrupts the whole tone semitone pattern. For example, a major scale pattern is whole tone, semitone, whole tone, semitone. And dropping a note would alter this pattern. So to maintain this pattern, notes are not repeated within the octave, which allows us to identify the specific sound. Okay? So we now know, and to be honest with you guys, before I even finish editing that video, I decided to do a bit of research on, what are the tones of A sharp major. And, like I said before, I thought it was A sharp, C, D, D sharp, blah, blah, etc. And then when I found out, no, it's actually A sharp, B sharp, C double sharp, I was like really surprised. Wow, I actually learned something new, didn't I? So the correct tones of the A sharp major is A sharp, B sharp, C double sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F double sharp, G double sharp, and A sharp. So you can see how there are no notes repeated. Every note within the scale has its own specific, unique letter. Okay, so going back to our previous lesson, and if you don't know how to play the song, just go to the previous lesson. All right? Wow. I definitely feel different. And the thing is, when I'm playing the notes, because of what I know now, I now visualize the notes differently. I now look at the notes as unique letters. And yes, certain scales that uses all sharps and all flats are used for discrepancy. discrepancy and for identification purposes, to make things easier to understand and to make things less confusing and more clear, theory-wise and visually, which is also very important when reading music notation. Because when you're playing while reading notation, you want to be able to understand things quickly so that you're able to play and to make things less confusing for the musician. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Guitar Lessons by E.O.A. Stay tuned for more.